really fun film. Listen, I had a good time. I'm a grown woman that still loves animation. Okay, let me start there.
Well,
And I'm not ashamed to say it. Okay.
you're speaking
Uh,
to a just like author of just children book and cartoonist like a filmmaker. So yeah, we
yes, yes,
relate.
yes.
We get it.
Yeah. So listen, it was a great film. I was guessing until the end what was going to happen with those main characters. But I have to ask you guys. I'm sure you've answered this question a million times. What was the inspiration? Let me start with Aaron. What was the inspiration behind the storyline for these characters?
I I wanted to two things. I wanted to write a book about characters that were being judged because of the way they looked. I just thought that was a very rich territory to talk about. But at the same time, I had a 6-year-old son who was bringing home books from school that were so boring they would make him cry. So
Wow.
yeah, so I wanted to write something cool. I wanted to write something that for his age group that would make him go, man, I want to read. I want to read a book. And I thought, well, how could I take those two things and put them together? And at the time, he was really excited about scary animals. So I thought, what if scary animals were being judged? And then, boom, it was suddenly there. And all the movies that I've loved in my life, I kind of took little pieces from here and there and I wrapped it all up. And then I thought this can be a perfect way to talk about a story about, redemption and characters, finding a new, path. And it immediately kind of connected with kids. They were sort of popular immediately, which was never the case for my previous work.
Wow. And so, Pierre, what was it about this story that really grabbed your attention and made you want to work on this project?
Yeah, to me, the idea that Aaron came up with was such a clear, big idea, clean. It was so resonating, so resonant with me, that idea of like those legendary bad guys, that we all, have read about, written about, so movies about, and that are part of the collective, uh, memories and stories, and one day they decide to go good. Like I was like, yeah, that's genius. And on top of that, they're really bad at being good. That's even better. And the way he had drawn that first book cover was, with them just in gangster suits and like being in lineup of, police photo booths, whatever, was so reminiscent of the Scorsese and this Tarantino films that I grew up with and I just adored. And I don't know, there was something incredibly fun just to see that gangster vibe with like childish, cartoony characters blended together, and the opportunity to actually make a heist movie for younger audiences, which we hadn't seen animation done to this scale. And so from there, same thing, kind of stirred it all up in a pot,
Yeah.
like you say, Aaron, and just it was a no-brainer.
And so, Aaron, were you always committed to the story, to the end of the storyline? I'm not going to give too much away for anybody that has not seen it yet. But the end of the story, the path that our characters would ultimately take, were you always committed to that ending?
Oh, absolutely. And so, and in terms of the combination of the books and the movies, the books, there's going to be 20 episodes of the books by the time it's finished. The movie is based on the first four, sort of loose.
Gotcha.
But the point where they reach at the end of the movie, the movie is almost like a prequel to the book series, because it's the journey of how they get to where they get, and then the book series kind of picks up from there and then takes them off on that journey.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. That was always the reason to do it for me.
But so also, just Aaron has been involved throughout the whole film. He's an executive producer, so we've been in touch so regularly to make sure that everything we were doing was, something that he could go behind and just support us to get there. So he was very aware where we were trying to go. And as you know, I mean, those movies, like, story changes and evolves, and so I can't even remember if the ending was there from the beginning. I think it was actually that ending.
Pretty much. And just for the record, I'm a very, very happy author at this point.
Okay.
It's
Good.
but it's very easy for that to, these things can just go off the rails. You see it happen all the time, and these guys are just so good that I'd never really had to worry. It was always, the heart, the spirit of my books is completely alive in this.
Yeah. Awesome. So guys, listen, I'm excited about it. Can't wait to see it in theaters on the 22nd, April 22nd. And I will say this, it's the ultimate redemption story for a group of bad guys. So thank you for such a great film and book. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Chandra.
All right. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Bye.